Hello, beautiful souls. Today we embark on a transformative journey, a journey to unlock the secrets of true success and fulfillment. Our guide? A timeless masterpiece that has touched millions worldwide, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Dr. Covey, a renowned professor, leadership guru, and devoted father of 9, delved deep into the lives of successful individuals, seeking the common threads that wove their tapestries of achievement. What he discovered was profound true success isn't merely about outward accomplishments, but about aligning our character, our inner compass, with universal principles of effectiveness. Inspired by his research, Dr. Covey penned The 7 Habits to share these timeless principles, offering a roadmap to living lives of purpose, integrity, and lasting success. So, join me, won't you, as we unpack each habit, exploring its depths and discovering how to integrate it into our own lives. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join our ever-growing community of seekers and thrive together. Our first stop on this incredible journey brings us to the foundation of effectiveness, proactivity. You see, it's so easy to feel like life is happening us, to see ourselves as victims of circumstance. But my friends, Dr. Covey challenges us to recognize the immense power we possess, the power of choice. Being proactive isn't just about taking action, it's about taking responsibility for our own lives, for our reactions, for our choices. It's about recognizing that between every stimulus and our response lies a precious space, a space where our freedom resides. Think about it. How often do we react impulsively, driven by our emotions, our moods? How often do we blame external factors for our unhappiness, our lack of fulfillment? But what if, just what if, we could choose our response? What if we could pause, reflect, and act based on our values, our principles, instead of our fleeting feelings? That's the essence of proactivity. It's about consciously choosing our path, even when faced with challenges, setbacks, or disappointments. It's about focusing our energy on what we control, our thoughts, our actions, our responses, rather than dwelling on what we can't. Imagine for a moment the incredible shift that occurs when we embrace this proactive mindset. We stop feeling like helpless passengers on the roller coaster of life and become the architects of our own destinies. We move from a space of blame and resentment to a space of empowerment and possibility. And that, my friends, is the beauty of Habit 1. It reminds us that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by the choices we make every single day. It empowers us to step into our own agency, to become the conscious creators of our own lives. So I ask you, what area of your life feels most out of control right now? Where do you find yourself reacting impulsively, feeling like a victim of circumstance? I urge you to pause, to reflect, and to ask yourself, how can I choose a more proactive response in this moment? Remember, true freedom lies not in the absence of challenges, but in our ability to choose our response, to choose our path, even amidst the storms. Embrace the power of proactivity, and watch as you begin to create a life of intention, purpose, and true fulfillment. Our journey into the 7 Habits continues with a powerful principle, one that invites us to step back and ask ourselves a fundamental question. What is the purpose of my life? Now, I know this may seem like a daunting question, but trust me, my friends, it's a necessary one. You see, Habit 2, begin with the end in mind, is all about living our lives with intention, with purpose. It's about defining what truly matters to us, what we want our legacy to be, and then aligning our actions with that vision. Imagine for a moment that you're at the end of your life looking back on your journey. What do you want to be remembered for? What impact do you want to have made on the world and the people you love? These are not easy questions, but they are essential ones. Dr. Covey encourages us to craft what he calls a personal mission statement, a guiding document that outlines our core values, our deepest aspirations, and our definition of success. This isn't about setting rigid goals or limiting ourselves. It's about creating a compass that points us towards a life of meaning and fulfillment. Think of it as writing your own life script. What roles do you want to play? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? What qualities do you want to cultivate in yourself? This is your story, and you have the power to write it with intention, with purpose, with heart. Now, I know this might feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Start by reflecting on your values, your passions, your unique gifts. What brings you joy? What makes you feel truly alive? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Write down your thoughts, your dreams, your aspirations. Don't censor yourself, let your heart guide your pen. And remember, this isn't a one-time exercise. Your personal mission statement is a living document. one that can evolve and grow as you do. By beginning with the end in mind, by defining our personal mission, we gain clarity, focus, and a profound sense of purpose. We stop living on autopilot, reacting to the demands of daily life, and start making conscious choices that align with our deepest values and aspirations. So, my friends, I invite you to embark on this journey of self-discovery. Craft your personal mission statement, your roadmap to a life of meaning and purpose. And as you do, remember the wise words of Dr. Covey. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Now let's talk about a struggle we all know too well: time management. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, yet some people seem to accomplish so much more. What's their secret? Well, my friends, it all comes down to prioritizing, to putting first things first. In Habit 3, Dr. Covey introduces us to a powerful tool, the time management matrix. Now this might sound complicated, but it's actually quite simple. Imagine a square divided into 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is for urgent and important tasks, things like crises, deadlines, and pressing problems. Quadrant 2 is for important but not urgent activities. Think long-term planning, relationship building, personal development, the things that are crucial for our growth and happiness but often get pushed aside. Quadrant 3 is for urgent but not important tasks, like interruptions, unnecessary meetings, and some emails. And finally, Quadrant 4 is for activities that are neither urgent nor important, things like mindless scrolling, watching excessive TV, and procrastination. The key to effective time management, according to Dr. Covey, is to spend as much time as possible in Quadrant 2. These are the activities that truly move us forward, that align with our values and goals. Now I know what you're thinking. Oprah, easier said than done. And you're right, it takes discipline and conscious effort to prioritize Quadrant 2 activities, but the rewards are immeasurable. When we focus on what truly matters, we experience less stress, greater productivity, and a deeper sense of accomplishment. So, how do we make this shift? It starts with awareness. Take a look at your own life. Where are you spending most of your time? Are you constantly reacting to urgency, or are you making time for what's truly important? Once you have a clear picture, you can start making changes. Schedule time for Quadrant 2 activities in your calendar. Learn to say no to distractions and time wasters. Delegate tasks whenever possible. Remember, my friends, time is our most precious resource. It's the one thing we can never get back. Let's use it wisely, let's invest it in what truly matters, and let's create a life that is both productive and fulfilling. Now let's talk about relationships, shall we? Because, my friends, life is not a zero-sum game. We don't have to succeed at the expense of others. In fact, true success is often built on collaboration, on creating win-win situations. Habit 4, think win-win, challenges us to shift our perspective from competition to cooperation. It's about believing that there's enough for everyone, that one person's success doesn't have to come at the cost of another's. You see, so often we're conditioned to see the world as a win-lose scenario. We believe that if someone else is winning, we must be losing. But this scarcity mindset limits our potential and damages our relationships. When we adopt a win-win paradigm, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We start looking for solutions that benefit everyone involved. We approach negotiations with a spirit of collaboration, seeking mutually agreeable outcomes. Now I know this might sound idealistic, but I truly believe it's possible to create more win-win situations in our lives. It starts with our mindset. We have to believe that collaboration is possible, that we can achieve more together than we ever could alone. It also requires open communication, empathy, and a willingness to understand the needs and perspectives of others. When we approach interactions with a genuine desire to find solutions that work for everyone, we create an environment of trust, respect, and mutual benefit. Think about your own relationships. Are they based on competition or collaboration? Are you constantly trying to one-up the other person, or are you working together to create something even greater? Challenge yourself to find win-win solutions in your interactions with others. Look for common ground, be willing to compromise, and celebrate each other's successes. Remember, my friends, when we lift each other up, we all rise together. You know, my friends, we've all been there. In the midst of a conversation so focused on getting our own point across, that we fail to truly listen to the other person. We interrupt, we judge, we offer unsolicited advice, all before truly understanding where they're coming from. But habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood, invites us to approach communication with a different mindset, a mindset of empathy and deep listening. You see, true communication is not just about speaking our minds, it's about truly understanding and connecting with another human being. It's about listening with our hearts, not just our ears. Dr. Covey encourages us to practice what he calls empathic listening. This means going beyond simply hearing the words someone is saying and trying to truly understand their perspective, their feelings, their underlying needs. It means putting aside our own agendas, our own biases, and truly stepping into the shoes of the other person. It's about asking clarifying questions, reflecting back what we've heard, and validating their feelings. Now, I know this can be challenging. It takes patience, it takes practice, and it takes a willingness to be present and fully engaged in the conversation. But the rewards are immeasurable. When we feel truly heard and understood, it creates a deep sense of connection and trust. It opens the door for honest communication, for vulnerability, for genuine problem solving. So the next time you're in a conversation, I challenge you to practice empathic listening. Really focus on understanding the other person's perspective. Ask questions, reflect back what you've heard, and validate their feelings. You might be surprised by the depth of connection you experience and the positive impact it has on your relationships. Remember, my friends, to be understood, we must first seek to understand. You know that saying, 2 heads are better than 1? Well, my friends, there's a lot of truth to that. When we come together, when we embrace our differences, when we collaborate with open hearts and minds, something magical happens. We create synergy. Habit 6, Synergize, is all about recognizing the power of teamwork, of harnessing the collective wisdom and creativity of a group. It's about understanding that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. You see, when we work together, when we value and respect different perspectives, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We break free from the limitations of our own individual thinking and tap into a collective intelligence that is far greater than anything we could achieve alone. Synergy is about creating an environment where everyone feels safe to contribute their ideas, where differences are celebrated, and where constructive conflict is seen as an opportunity for growth and innovation. Think about a time when you experienced true synergy, when you were part of a team that clicked, where ideas flowed freely, and where the end result was something truly extraordinary. What was it like? How did it feel? Now imagine bringing that same spirit of collaboration, that same openness to different perspectives, into all areas of your life, your relationships, your work, your community. Start by valuing the differences you encounter. Recognize that each person brings their unique strengths and experiences to the table. Encourage open communication and active listening. Be willing to compromise and find solutions that work for everyone involved. Remember, my friends, synergy is not about uniformity, it's about unity. It's about recognizing that our differences are our strengths, and that when we come together with a shared purpose and a spirit of collaboration, we can achieve truly remarkable things. And so, my friends, we come to the final habit, the habit that ties everything together. Habit 7, sharpen the saw. Now, you might be wondering, what does sharpening a saw have to do with personal effectiveness? Well, let me tell you, it's essential. You see, just like a saw needs regular sharpening to function at its best, so do we. We need to take time to renew ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We need to invest in our own well-being so that we can show up fully in all areas of our lives. Think of it this way. If you were chopping wood and you kept using the same dull saw, it would become increasingly difficult and exhausting. But if you took a few moments to sharpen the saw, the work would become easier, more efficient, and more enjoyable. The same principle applies to our own lives. When we neglect our own self-care, we become run down, stressed, and ineffective. But when we prioritize our well-being, we have more energy, focus, and resilience to face life's challenges. Dr. Covey encourages us to focus on 4 key dimensions of renewal, * physical, taking care of our bodies through exercise, nutrition, and sleep. * mental, expanding our minds through reading, learning, and engaging in stimulating conversations. * emotional, nurturing our emotional well-being through meaningful connections, expressing our feelings, and practicing self-care. * spiritual, connecting with something greater than ourselves through prayer, meditation, nature, or whatever brings us a sense of peace and purpose. Now, I know life gets busy, and it's easy to let self-care slide down our priority list, but I urge you to make it a non-negotiable. Schedule time for yourself, just like you would any other important appointment. Remember, my friends, when we take care of ourselves, we're better equipped to take care of others, to pursue our passions, and to make a positive impact on the world. So, there you have it, my friends, the 7 habits of highly effective people. These principles have the power to transform our lives, our relationships, and our world. But it all starts with us. It starts with a conscious decision to live our lives with intention, integrity, and a commitment to personal growth. Now, I'm curious, which of the 7 habits resonates most deeply with you? Which one do you find most challenging to put into practice? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more inspiring content on personal growth, self-discovery, and living your best life. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. And remember, you have the power within you to create a life of purpose, meaning, and lasting fulfillment.